He's been really good. Other than he had one mishap early on in the year. That's why his ERA is a little more inflated. Other than that, he's been awesome.
Yeah.
He's really filling that role of giving them just some. He's an innings eater.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. With me, as usual, my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian, happy Monday.
Stacey, happy Monday to you. A new week and a West Coast trip, so we're going to be going on real late.
Yeah, not as late as we used to. Thank you, Seattle, for not having games at 10:10. Appreciate that. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to Locked On Yankees on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like our videos, hit the bells. You're notified when our videos go live. On today's show, we have news about Marcus Stroman. We're previewing that series, which begins in Seattle tonight. It's Minors Monday. We have some performances to tell you about. But first, pretty good weekend overall for the Yankees in West Sacramento at Sutter Health Field.
Yeah, the breakdown we got from our buddy on Locked On A's really was accurate on the ball flying out of that ballpark. I mean, that ball, the ball does not stay in that ballpark. I was listening to a part of the radio broadcast on Sunday, and Susan Waldman was pointing out that the lack of an upper deck really lends more to the wind being a problem as opposed to just it being windy in Sacramento. It's the fact that there's no upper deck to cut it down at all. So, I mean, the wind just flows right through that ballpark. You could tell that it really carries that ball out of there. I mean, you started the weekend off with Jasson Dominguez having a three home run day. And we know Jasson Dominguez has really good power, but we're not really accustomed to seeing him hit 3 in a game. So, I mean, the ball just flies out of this ballpark, accompanied with 12 runs on Sunday. I mean, awesome series. Good series win.
Yeah, let's start with Sunday since it's fresh in our minds.
Yes.
12 runs, including 8 off Luis Severino. Poor Luis Severino. He's not the only former Yankee starter that's been victimized by the Yankees so far this season. I was slightly surprised by the outcome of this. Like I thought he'd do a little better against them, and I didn't realize that he didn't make a start against them as a Met.
Yeah. It was only 1 year that he was there, right? So I guess
they
would
kept
have had
missing
to be lucky
him.
in that. Yeah, I guess so. Very interesting. I don't like seeing Luis Severino go up against the Yankees, though. I liked Luis Severino as a Yankee. I really did. So it's sad.
Yeah. 5 runs in the second inning, 1 in the third, 2 in the fifth. The rest of the runs in the fifth inning were credited to Mitch Spence, who came in after Severino left the game. But before we get into the offense, can we talk about Ryan Yarbrough? Because what a job by him today.
He's been really good. Other than he had one mishap early on in the year. That's why his ERA is a little more inflated. Other than that, he's been awesome. Yeah. He's really filling that role of giving them just some. He's an innings eater, right? I mean, it's great that he's not giving up any runs, but they got him for that purpose, to be that middle relief guy that can, game gets away from you, call in Yarbrough. Need a starter in a pinch, not really a pinch, but need a starter because the off days don't align right, and you need the guy because no one has the right amount of rest. Throw him in there, and he gave you a great start. And you needed bullpen relief. You needed a starter to get time off. Like, he gave them a absolutely perfect start on Sunday. It's exactly what they were asking out of him. Gave them length, and then De Los Santos too. Yeah. I mean, giving them perfect length. I mean, this in a day where you kind of expected, like, we might need to use the bullpen here, they needed to use no one. They really set themselves up great for Seattle.
Yes, that is a big key because there's no break between the series in Seattle and Oakland. They go straight to Seattle. They have that off day, but it's a travel day between Seattle and the Mets series. So
which is just a travel day because they're going back from West Coast to East Coast. Yeah. It's a long flight.
You lose a whole day. You basically lose a day flying back. So this is good. This was a great game on Sunday for them. Let's talk offense. Ben Rice, his first career grand slam. And it was funny too, because I was watching the game. They showed his average and said, "Oh, it's dropping off a little bit." I said, "Maybe he needs to hit something here." And he literally, like the next pitch, he hit the grand slam on Sunday. I thought, all right, maybe I should start talking to the TV more when I'm sitting by myself watching games. He hit the smack out of that ball.
Yeah, we got to come up with a word. There's an inappropriate word that I usually use when someone hits the bleep out of a ball. That we're not going to use. A little more inappropriate. But we got to come up with a...
No, snot can be the replacement for the inappropriate that also ends in S and T.
Interesting. That wasn't even the word I was thinking of, but
I know the word you were thinking of.
I don't hate snot. But he gets all of it when he hits the ball. A lot of comparisons from him and Giancarlo Stanton too, because Stanton has that too. Power to all fields and also hits the bleep out of every ball that he gets into. So again, creating more and more of an issue in who they're going to play full time. I'm really intrigued to see what they do here. But yeah, a Ben Rice grand slam. I mean, how can you not also, with the amount we all witnessed him struggle last season? We did. And with the way that he's improved by the 10 pounds of muscle story feels like it was 5 years ago where we talked about that story, like him putting on 10 pounds of muscle in the offseason and we'll see what he can do. Stacey, he's never looked back from that moment. He really hasn't. He's been incredible for them. I'm intrigued to see where they go with the rest of the season because, I mean, he's been just awesome. Him, Max Fried, and Aaron Judge, when you talk about team MVPs, it's electric.
Yeah. Speaking of Judge, he just keeps hitting. His batting average is back above 400 because it dipped below 400 earlier in the series. He made a great diving play, nearly doubled up Gio Urshela. And he has now, this is how Judge has done against his former teammates. He's hit home runs off of Nestor Cortez, Michael King, and JP Sears, who, by the way, did pitch for the Yankees in 2022. He appeared in 7 games and went 3-0 before he was traded to the A's.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you remember that at all? Be honest to me.
I was confusing him with Ken Waldichuk, who was the other person who got traded, who we didn't see. So I forgot that Sears pitched.
I can honestly tell you, I do not remember that. I do not remember seeing him pitch interesting. Wow.
Yeah, and Judge went 2 for 3 off Severino. No home runs.
It's insane.
2 for 3 off.
I mean, again, you lose a track of words. And by the way, that game where they scored 12 runs on Sunday, he had 2 RBIs, didn't home run. He doesn't need to do it with the home. He's the most unique power hitter we've ever seen. Where he's a legitimate power threat to hit 60, 70 home runs a season, but also hits for an insane amount of average. We've never seen something like this.
Well, he said in his post game on Sunday that depending on where he hits, his approach to the game is different. If he's hitting second, he just wants to get on base so the guys behind him can do something. If he's hitting third, he wants to drive those guys in. And you saw that on Sunday where he got on base and he helped other guys, when he scored. So
plus the diving catch. I mean, I know Ohtani impacts the game in a different way because he's a pitcher, so it's a little different. But I mean, he's got to be well up there. I mean, it's a great debate between him and Ohtani of the most well-rounded all-around players in baseball right now. It's remarkable what he does on an everyday basis.
Yeah. Saturday's game. I mean, they're down 4-1, then they're up 6-4.
Yeah.
Then they, it's just, big home run by Oswald Peraza, by the way. Nice job by him because that was
he's got the power in his swing for sure. And resilient performance on Saturday, but answer this honestly though, Stace. We were ready for a Rodon start like this, right? We were due.
Oh yeah. No, I was expecting it. I was.
And I'm just glad. I'm just glad that it wasn't a meltdown. Right, it was 4 runs over 6, but he didn't melt down. He didn't have it's just a blip in the radar. Move along.
Yeah, Judge hit 2 home runs on Saturday that got overshadowed by the fact that the bullpen couldn't hold on to the lead. And then Friday night, we have to discuss this very quickly before we go to segment 2. We already mentioned Dominguez, but the 3 home runs. This is the thing that's amazing to me. He's the first player in Major League Baseball history to hit 3 home runs, which include 2 from either side of the plate and a grand slam.
It is very random, but I was honestly shocked when I heard the stat that Mickey Mantle never did that.
Right.
Because he was a switch hitter and he was known for his flair for the dramatic. I'm shocked that he never did that, but I mean, his swing too. I mean, we talk about it all the time. His body shape is so interesting because he is just he's not tall, but he has such an athletic build, and he's so stocky. He looks like he could squat 8,000 pounds. Like, he just is such a stocky dude, but moves so quick out there. He can hit a lot of home runs out there. I mean, he really can. And not gonna lie, you've seen it over the last week or two. His approach at the plate keeps getting better and better and better, and it's being overshadowed by Goldschmidt and Judge and all these guys.
He was good the whole series.
Yes,
he was good the whole series. He really was.
His approach at the plate has gotten really good.
He also hit his first home run from the right side in his major league career. And he's the youngest Yankee to hit 3 home runs in a game at 22 years, 91 days, surpassing Joe DiMaggio's record from a long time ago. Because this is the fun thing about being a Yankee fan and being a Yankee, really. Like, when you're a Yankee player, your name, when you do something in the record books, you're always linked with someone absolutely amazing. And then Will Warren, we have to quickly talk about that too. What a performance by him.
Yeah. Expected for a while, right? You kind of felt this was coming out of him, but I mean, we've been hearing about from the manager that his stuff's been looking great all year, even in the starts that were terrible. So his stuff finally looked actually great.
No, to be fair, in some of the starts where he wasn't good, he was still striking out people. It was just that 0-2 to 3-2, 0-2 giving up a hit kind of thing where he couldn't finish things. I was getting emails from Booney on Friday night saying, wow, Will Warren, and then, wow, Jasson Dominguez.
Yeah. No, yeah. The youth meter is there with the Yankees. You can see the potential. It has to all click, and when it does, you see what happens in a game like Friday night.
By the way, if you didn't watch the episode Friday, I'm referring to Booney of Locked On A's, not Aaron Boone.
We don't have we're not that close.
Aaron Boone's not emailing me. You know,
it would be nice during the game to get emails from Aaron Boone, but I think we'd go live after the show if we had that.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Hey, Stace, what do you think of that? Great, Booney. Good job. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notification so you know when our videos go up. You could also join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description. You'll get texts from us. You can text us questions, comments, reactions to trades and signings. We send out the lineups during the season. If I remember, I forgot on Saturday, but I did it Friday and Sunday. We send out breaking news so you don't have to check social media. There's a 14-day free trial. All right, coming up. It's Minors Monday, and, we weren't just affected by the rain last week, so were a lot of the minor league teams. So we're going to tell you what was going down on the farm next.
You ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's very easy to lose track. And that's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO that gives you full visibility and control over all of your finances. And Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending all in one place, so you'd stop just managing your money and you could start building wealth. And when I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery. And now I budget smarter and I save more. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track your spending, and even plan for some of those long-term goals in life. Managing money with your partner is also smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without dealing with any of that stress. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. And guys, we have a new way for you to submit your Fan Mail Friday questions on YouTube. Go to our channel's page and scroll over to the post tab. You'll find a post where you can leave questions. This week's deadline is going to be Thursday at 5 p.m., so you want to make sure you get those questions in. You can see it scrolling right here. It's easier than ever to get involved in Fan Mail Friday, and that's how you can do it. So, Stacey, some updates on injured players, some rain in the Northeast that also affected the Yankees' minor league teams. Let's hear about it.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't just the Northeast. It was raining everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it was raining around the whole country last week. It was just, what happened to April showers bring May flowers? When did it become May showers? I don't understand when this.
I don't see flowers, but I'm enjoying the 70-degree weather and the late sunsets, by the way.
Yeah. Now, Scranton was really messed up. They had 3 rainouts over the past week, and they were able to make up 2 of those games. They had to push one of them to another because they play the same teams all the time because they do 6-game series. So this was Rochester. So they played a 5-game series. They went 3-2. So pretty good. Now, Alan Winans on Sunday, went 5 innings, won his first game of the season. He's appeared in 5 games, and he has not given up a run yet for Scranton, which is amazing. DJ LeMahieu was 1 for 4 on Sunday with Scranton, so he's still there. He also had a walk. He was also nailed at home. It was listed as a caught stealing in the box score, so I don't know what DJ LeMahieu was doing, but I guess he's running well, so...
he's got confidence out there, right? If he's willing to steal home out there. I mean, clearly the confidence is working.
Yeah. Jonathan Loaisiga made his first AAA appearance on Wednesday. He pitched 2 scoreless innings. He allowed 1 hit, and he struck out 2. So that's good because he made the jump, obviously, from Tampa to Scranton because he's Jonathan Loaisiga. He's not a normal minor leaguer, so he jumped up a couple of levels, or a few levels, actually, because he skipped over Somerset and Hudson Valley to get
any word on how his velocity is looking?
There wasn't anything about his velocity in what I saw from
that's where I think their trigger is going to be on letting themselves know if he's ready or not. I think it's going to have to do with if his velocity is consistently staying where they need it to be, they'll let him work out more of his kinks at the major league level, if that makes sense.
Right. Because as we reported last week in Tampa, they measured it at 96 for him. So I think they're hoping that he'll be back with the Yankees within a couple weeks, maybe by the end of the month, because it's May 12th. So
he could be a real key piece. He could be a real key piece.
Somerset did not have a good week at all.
No.
It went 2-4 in their series against Akron. In the finale on Sunday, they lost 2-1. They were held to that 1 run until the 9th inning, and Rafael Flores had 3 of their 4 hits. It was just not a great showing for them the entire week against Akron. Hopefully things will get better for them this week. Now, Hudson Valley.
Spencer Jones.
Right. He's still injured. He was not in the game because I made sure I was looking and seeing who was there. And he's still injured. Did they say what he was injured with? Because I saw reports where they didn't say what his injury was and people were confused.
Yeah, they just said he's out. It felt people were comparing it to a hockey injury where they don't have to specifically give you the actual injury. They just have to tell you upper or lower body. The Yankees didn't even do that. So we don't even really know what it is that he's hurt with. So hopefully it's nothing too severe, though, because he's been off to a pretty solid start this year.
Yeah. Moving on to Hudson Valley, Bryce Cunningham, who we have talked about in Minors Monday, is now 4-1. We spoke about him actually a few weeks ago. He threw 6 1/3 innings over the weekend. He allowed 1 run on 5 hits while walking 2 and striking out 4. He's the 3rd Renegade starter to pitch into the 7th inning just this past week alone. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, solid start for him this year, too. I wonder when the point gets where they try to move him up. Just to try and accelerate things if they let him stick the whole year out in Hudson Valley, because he's been off to a really good start so far.
Yeah, after their win on Sunday, the Renegades pitching staff lowered its ERA to 2.55 on the season. It's the best mark in minor league baseball, and with that victory, they're now 11-1 against Wilmington on the season, and they're 19-1 against Wilmington since July 28th, 2024.
The fact that they played them 12 times already is insane. These 6-game series are so weird.
I was showing my mother the schedule because I was explaining to her what has happened in minor league baseball. And she said, they have to play 6 games against the same. I said, yeah, it's basically it's just the week. They have an off day, the same off day every week. The series is Tuesday to Sunday, just easy.
What's funny too is they're playing these teams, like these minor league teams are in these like such nonchalant, non-interesting like little towns in America. Right, like so you're spending a whole week in Akron, or in these like random Altoona, PA, like these random places that no one would ever spend a week in. It's got to be so tiring for these guys, especially the money they're making. They're hanging out in motels and stuff.
Yeah,
it's you could tell when major leaguers get to the major leagues why it means so much to them after they go through a minor league career.
Right. Up next, the Tampa Tarpons went 3-3 against Daytona. They also had weather issues. Their game on Wednesday was actually postponed due to lightning issues, which I'm sure the Tampa Bay Rays are going to have to deal with because they play in Steinbrenner Field. But the Tarpons ended up sweeping the doubleheader the next day that was due to the postponement, so that helped them in that series against Daytona.
That's an interesting point, actually, that you bring up. I'm excited to see this because late August into September, that's hurricane season down there. So I can't wait to see the Tampa Bay Rays playing home games outdoors with, lightning and swirling 40-mile-an-hour winds and having to get these games in, too, because it's the end of the season and you can't really postpone them at that point. That's going to be a really interesting one. Did you see, by the way, too, the Rays gave out special commemorative ponchos the other day for their first ever rain out or rain delay as an organization?
Wow. That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, they were commemorative ponchos that said.
I like that they're leaning into it. That's funny.
Might as well.
I know. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
The Florida Complex League Yankees, they only just started. They're 4-2 right now. And the DSL Yankees don't start until June 1st. So there's a while for them. But on Saturday, the Complex League Yankees beat the Complex League Blue Jays 4-3 in a walk-off, but it was a walk-off steal of home.
Gotta love it, right? Gotta love minor league baseball.
That's pretty cool. You don't hear about that.
That's some
often.
Jackie Robinson type stuff out there. Like that's pretty amazing to be stealing home for a win.
Yeah. So that's it for the minors. Good stuff from Bryce Cunningham. We'll see how he does with Hudson Valley if he gets the call up to Somerset at any point. DJ LeMahieu still with Scranton. It's possible that he remains with them until the Yankees come home to play the Mets.
That's what it looks like.
The most sense because they're not going to fly him out to Seattle and exhaust him. He's older. They can't really do that. So.
He is an old man. So yeah, they're going to have to.
As I'm, joking about this when I'm like 15 years older than him. I'm not a baseball player. Okay. So, I'm just old in people age, not in baseball age, but I'm like older than managers and general managers now at this point. So.
The dream's not over. You could still be a general manager or a manager. Yeah.
All right. Coming up, we're previewing the series in Seattle, which begins tonight. Next.
Are you looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Well, you can crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Now, Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller for longer. There's a variety that's got great flavors. It includes jalapeno lime, dill pickle, chili roasted, smoky barbecue. Me and Stacy both swear by all these flavors. You could also get lightly salted or unsalted. It's got something for everybody. And if your taste buds aren't quite ready for the bold flavors, again, the lightly salted, the unsalted, you really can't go wrong. Now, personally, I'm a no shells variety kind of guy. It's the perfect grab and go snack for me on busy days. And whether I'm snacking at my desk, I'm on a road trip, I just need that quick protein boost. These are always my go-to, guys. And if you love cracking open the shells, maybe you're watching a baseball game and you're cracking them open for the satisfying crunch, the in-shell options, they're also a perfect classic favorite. Whether you're running between meetings or dropping off the kids, Wonderful Pistachios are the snack that works as hard as you do. So get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. And check this out. Not only do we cover your team every day, but we're now giving you instant episodes after every single game. You can check out the Locked On Yankees postcast. It's hosted by Jay Berman right here on the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. It's that easy to find. You can get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On Yankees postcast. So, Stacey, as the days go on, it seems more and more likely that Marcus Stroman is not going to be able to hit his 140 inning pitch count, which, sad for him. Don't want to get in someone's pocket and root for them to make less money. But this does help the Yankees out massively when it comes to financially. Just on a strict financial statement for them next year, it does help them out drastically, getting a massive salary off of their books for next year. It's not going to be an opt-in situation for him because there's no way he's going to make that 140 pitch mark. He did suffer a setback in his rehab. He felt discomfort in his knee after a live batting practice session in Tampa on Friday. That's not a good sign, especially because it's a batting practice. They're not having him throw. He wasn't throwing full strength, full tilt. It wasn't even a full bullpen yet. So having knee discomfort that early on, definitely not a good sign. Stacey, he pitched last on April 11th, right as the season got started. He's not going to be coming back anytime soon. And if you heard Aaron Boone's reaction to it afterwards in the postgame, he was not too confident in Stroman's outlook either. So I wouldn't really count on him for a majority of the big portion of the season.
Yeah, that's a bummer for him personally. Which knee is it? Do we know which knee
I
it
think
is?
it's the left. I think it's the left knee I heard earlier today. I could be wrong. I'm pretty confident it's the left knee.
Okay, because I thought I heard them say left, because I couldn't remember if they even said which knee it was. So, yeah. Well, you can't feel pain in your legs when you're pitching, because whether it's either leg, it's not a good thing, because if it's the landing leg, that's a real problem. And if it's the other leg, it's also a real problem, because
the other leg is where you're getting the power off. That's where you're pushing off the mound. So
if you can't push off the mound and your knee is bothering you, I mean, I've had bad knees since I was a teenager. And if I walk too much, sometimes my knees are bothering me. I couldn't even imagine trying to pitch off or push off a pitcher's mound with discomfort in my knee.
Yeah, it's a problem for him. This is going to be a problem for him. Again, it helps the Yankees out. I mean, I'm not saying it to be spiteful or anything like that, but I'm just calling a spade a spade. Like, this does help the Yankees out drastically. That if he was going to throw over 140 innings, which, by the way, I think he was going to make it if he stayed healthy. Just because, I mean, he wasn't going deep into games, but I think they need starters. I mean, Ryan Yarbrough was starting Sunday. They need starters. So Stroman was going to get he was going to start consistently, even if his numbers weren't great. He was going to start all year. And Stacey, if at 140, which, by the way, a starting pitcher who just stays healthy is going to hit 140 innings. They just are if they pitch all year. So he was going to hit that 140, and he was going to opt into the $18 million for next year, because why wouldn't he? Like, he's not going to get $18 million for the year. He needed to opt into this. So, I'm not being spiteful, but it helps the Yankees out drastically that they're not going to have him opt in for that next year, because they're going to need that $18 million. Someone's going to get that money, and they're going to need it for someone. Yeah. I mean, that's Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah.
That right there, if they're going to bring him back, which, I mean, all accounts are that they love him for their future. If they're going to bring him back, he's a $20 million a year player right there. That's Devin Williams. I mean, it's a lot of players that are going to fit in that tax bracket. So they got, in a weird way, lucky with this injury.
Yeah. Yeah. Although when you look at the rotation, in some ways, you think to yourself, how would they be doing with a healthy Stroman and not having to rely on someone like Cookie Carrasco for a few starts? Yeah. Speaking of him, quickly, I've noticed that whenever the Yankees post anything, he likes everything on Instagram still. So I think that's nice.
He's optioned to AAA.
Yeah.
So he will be there.
Yeah. He's still supporting the team, even though he's going to be with Scranton. Okay, so let's do this. Monday night tonight, Clark Schmidt will be starting against Emerson Hancock. Clark Schmidt 0-1 with a 4.79 ERA. Emerson Hancock is 1-1 with a 5.70 ERA. Now, the thing about Seattle, they won 9 straight series before dropping this weekend series against the Blue Jays, and they were swept by Toronto in Seattle. So that's kind of odd, because the Blue Jays have been having their own struggles. And I think when people saw the matchup and the Blue Jays heading into Seattle, people just assumed that Seattle would not necessarily have their way with them, but I don't think they were predicting a 3-0 sweep on the other side.
Is Emerson Hancock not the oldest name you've ever heard in your life? It sounds like he's from the 1700s.
Actually, yes, he does.
Yeah, it's an old sounding name. Generally a team with really good starting pitching that struggles to score runs. It's been the same kind of theme for Seattle. They're going to see 2 really good pitchers later on in the series too. The Yankees. Weird to win that many series in a row and then get swept by Toronto. Yeah.
Tuesday, Max Fried, the ace of the Yankees, the ace of the American League, the ace of MLB at this point, 6-0 with a 1.05 ERA. He will be up against Brian Wu, who's 4-1 with a 3.25 ERA.
Yeah, Brian Wu's been really good for the Mariners this year. It's funny, Max Fried had given up 1 earned run in the last start, and his ERA went up.
On Wednesday, Will Warren will be up against Luis Castillo. Will Warren is 2-2 with a 4.75 ERA. That start on Friday night helped him out a lot. And Luis Castillo is 3-3 with a 3.95 ERA.
Historically dominates the Yankees, Luis Castillo.
Yeah. I wanted Luis Castillo.
Would have been a good fit. Would have been a good fit, and could have kept the beard by the long hair by now too. So
yeah, that's right. He could have grown everything back.
Yeah, nice trade for Seattle though. It was a really good trade when they made it, and he's cashed in for them. He's been really good.
Yep. All right, well, thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. You can find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And when they say every game, every night, it's literally 7 days a week. They do it Friday and Saturday nights as well. So if you want to catch something over the weekend to find out how everyone's doing around the league, listen or watch. So that'll do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McCann. We'll catch you tomorrow.